sunshine like a lamp. QX 106. He was QX 106. Slouch hat, the symbol of our life, is known in countries far and wide. Slouch hat that is still worn today. We'll never let it fade the symbol of the Aussie core, worn in all theaters of war. A boy so far from home. Our boy home forevermore. Would never let it go. No. Slouch that brings the memories back. Soldier who wore that hat since 1939. Ever since 19. Slouch hat, the symbol of our pride, is known in countries far and wide. Slouch hat that is still worn today. We'll never let it fade away. Slouch hat, the symbol of our pride, is known in countries far and wide. Slouch hat that is still worn today. We'll never let it fade We'll fade away.
Just a little bit. We're trying to like back there.
Yeah, that'd be good thing.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
Is this
Righto, folks. We'll hand you over to Graham.
Good morning, everybody. We'll get these proceedings underway very shortly, so I'll give you a couple of minutes to organise yourselves in a chair. Remembering the COVID rules where we're 1.5 apart and you can only kiss your wife and somebody else's wife, but apart from that, keep that COVID rules in mind. There's plenty of sanitiser around the place and it's a mask on event. Thank you. I'll give you a few minutes to get organised. Okay, I reckon we're about to kick off. I reckon we'd be right to go. Good morning. Another Australia Day. Much better time than last year. That we've got a bit of moisture falling from the sky. It's wonderful. Whether you're a farmer or a gardener, you're appreciated. My name's Graham Lotz. I'm your MC for the day. I'm president of the Felton Hall Committee. I'm on the Australia Day Committee here also, and I live down the road about, 10 to 12 minutes away, and I've got a little farm down there, but I do work in town in the disability sector. I'd like to welcome everybody here today, and I think it's going to be a great day, remembering that it's Australia Day and the main words in that are Australia. Okay. We have our traditional acknowledgement, and I'll read that out to you. We acknowledge the traditional custodians of the Toowoomba region whose song lines traverse our lands and pay our respect to elders past, present and emerging, for they hold the knowledge, rich traditions and bold ambitions of Australia's First Peoples. Now, as I said, a bit of housekeeping. The coffee van's down there. You're quite all welcome for a coffee. And there's a piece of cake down there from the Lions guys have got there, so that's on the house, but can't help yourself. I don't think it's a coffee drinking competition, but there is a cup of coffee there for you. So water, there's plenty of water. There's plenty of water, and it's on ice down there. The Lions boys are down there working hard. Right, we're going to start the proceedings. And we're going to start with the anthem. And our band here today is Ronnie and Johnny. They're locals from in town here. And, matter of fact, some of my kids went to schools with some of their kids from when we lived in Toowoomba. So with that, we'd like you all to rise, please, if you can. And we'll have the anthem. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you. We're going to lead now with the affirmation of hope. And I think that is on the program, is it? No? Yes? So if we could all say with the affirmation of hope. We, the citizens of Australia... stand please, if you don't mind. In one big voice, we, the citizens of Australia, are here to affirm our faith in the future of Australia, to keep it free, to work in harmony with one another, to take pride in our heritage and in our nation, our home, to do all our power to advance Australia fair. God bless Australia. Thank you. Okay, everybody, now we're being live streamed today, which is great, which means you're not allowed to say bloody and a few other things, okay? So it's wonderful for that to be here today. And I'd like to ask Carol Taylor to come forward, please.
I think so. Thank you. You're right. Right. Thanks. Thank you very much. Look, I acknowledge the Aboriginal parties whose songlines traverse these lands we meet on today, the Western Waka Waka, the Guybil and the Jadawa people, and also the Bigambul people who have land rights to the west of our area around Millmerran. I'd like to acknowledge MC Graham Lotz, the Ambassador Brendan Bernier, and Brendan is himself a former junior citizen of our Cambooya district when it was the Cambooya Shire, and is in himself a very inspirational person. The award winners for the Cambooya Shire and the nominees, local Australia Day members, former Australia Day awardees, our new Order of Australia Day Honours, Tony McDonald and his family. I'd like to acknowledge them here with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, good morning everyone, and what a wonderful pleasure as always it is for me to be here where my heart is in the old Cambooya district. It's called the Cambooya district, and takes in the areas of the Cambooya Shire, which includes not just Cambooya and Wairema, but Ramsay, Preston, East Greenmount, Hodson Vale, and all the other areas in between. And we represent all of those people. It's a wonderful pleasure, as always, to share. I've been fortunate enough to be able to share Australia Day with this community for 22 years. And I'd like to welcome all those present. I know we have some of our regular attendees here, but I'd like to recognise and hope our other community members, many are watching us. Our National Day is a very important occasion for us to mark as a community. I think it's extremely important, and I'm pleased to see our Cambooya District Community Celebration continuing in a safe fashion, despite the extra work that's needed to comply with the necessary health and safety requirements. But we're getting used to those, aren't we? I mean, we've been under those for about 2 years. I'd also like for us, if you don't mind, to pause for a few moments at this present time to recognise our doctors, nurses, paramedics, as well as our rural fire brigades and police service, farmers and supply chain workers, and thank them for their service and care for our communities over the last 2 years of COVID stress. And I know we all appreciate that. We Australians, including everyone in Cambooya, know about rising to meet a challenge and about being resilient. How else would you live with our weather conditions and the things that happen to us? And that's what brings us together. We display grit and determination regardless of the circumstance, and it's second nature to many of us. But seeking a hand on occasions may be a little harder to do, and we need to reach out if we do need help. We also know our elderly people, during COVID, they seem to be trapped in their house and they don't really have anyone to care about, to check on them. Your presence today proves how much you care about and support your local district and community, and coming together to recognise our local heroes and our local organisations. In time of uncertainty, strong community connections and relationships keep our spirits alive and thriving. Today's Toowoomba Region 2022 Australia Day awardees absolutely embody these positive traits. These awards are a heartfelt recognition from our community, and I thank fellow residents for taking the time to reflect and to lodge nominations. Please continue to do so to keep the Australia Day Awards alive and local. Aside from our winners, our nominees made amazing contributions here in our district to its townships and its localities, and it's indeed a pleasure to honour our 2022 Toowoomba Region Cambooya District Australia Day Award winners. 2022 Toowoomba Region Cambooya District Australia Day Award winners. 2022 Toowoomba Region Cambooya District Australia Day Award winners. 2022 Toowoomba Region Cambooya District Australia Day Award winners. 2022 Toowoomba Region Cambooya District Australia Day Award winners. 2022 Toowoomba Region Cambooya District Australia Day Award winners. 2022 Toowoomba Region Cambooya District Australia Day Award winners. 2022 Toowoomba Region Cambooya District Australia Day Award winners. 2022 Toowoomba Region Cambooya District Australia Day Award winners. 2022 Toowoomba Region Cambooya District Australia Day Award winners. 2022 Toowoomba Region Cambooya District Australia Day Award winners. 2022 Your contributions add to the rich story of community service that is marked across our region, Queensland and Australia. How amazing is that? A little hand of applause for him. And I think a recognition of people with disabilities and how they're struggling to be in our community. We need to remember that, and I think you'll do an amazing job. As I mentioned before, I'd like to recognise and congratulate Tony McDonald, OAM, for 30 years of service with the former Cambooya Shire, a lifetime of community service. Tony and his family still attend every Anzac Day in Greenmount and still support our community, not just with his engineering services, but in many, many other ways. And I really would like to have a hand of applause for Tony. Thank you. The Toowoomba region has another awardee, Robin Morris, OAM, for services to music. Our region is enriched by our people who use their expertise and passion to build on our sense of community. The Cambooya district is the home of remarkable people. Many are descendants of our pioneering families who have set the foundation for our newer residents, and together we can shine and prosper to make our region a better place. We have so much to be proud of and so much to be grateful for. Today, in town, in small groups, we will welcome 60 plus new residents, many who have come from terrible conflicts, so happy to be here in a safe environment and enjoying something that we take for granted. It's fitting that we nominate our local heroes to be recognised. Thank you all for your contributions. You've shown hard work, courage, resilience and good humour in another difficult year, and in some cases over many years. I'd like to offer my special thanks to the Australia Day Committee for organising today's events, to Amy Hetherington for stepping into the breach to support that committee, and the extra planning that's needed to meet the COVID-19 health and safety protocols. We are very grateful, the ones that are here today, to be able to gather in person. I'd like to thank all our long-term contributors of Toowoomba Lions Inc. The Toowoomba Lions Inc. are the ones who created Lions Park over at Hodsonvale, and their ongoing support of our community is really not to be forgotten. And I'd also like to recognise our generous sponsors who sponsored food and for this event over many years. Hopefully next year we'll be back with a breakfast. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, in recognition of the 26th of January 2022, let us remember, Australians all, let us rejoice, for we are one and free. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Carroll. Thank you very much. An inspiring speech, no doubt. Okay, now we're going to all join in with the song I Am Australian. It's on the run sheet there. Big loud voices will hook into it, and it is the epitome of what we really are.
From the
Dream time, from the dusty red soil plains,
I am the ancient heart, the keeper of the flame. I stood upon the rocky shores, I watched the tall ships come. For 40,000 years I've been the first Australian. I came upon the prison ship bowed down by iron chains.
I bought the land, endured the lash, and waited for the rains. I'm a settler, I'm a farmer's wife, on a dry and barren run. A convict and a free man, I became Australian. I'm the daughter of a digger who sought the motherlode. The girl became a woman on the long and dusty road. I'm a child of the Depression, I saw the good times come. I'm a bushy, I'm a battler, I am Australian. We are one, but we are many, and from all the lands on earth we come. We'll share a dream and sing with one voice. I am, you are, we are Australia.
I'm a teller
Of stories, I'm a singer of songs. I am the average hero, I paint the ghostly gums. I'm Clancy on his horse, I'm Ned Kelly on the run. I'm the one who waltzed Matilda, I am Australian.
I'm the hot wind from the desert,
On the black soil of the plains, on the mountains and the valleys, on the drought and flooding rains. I am the rock, I am the sky, the rivers when they run, the spirit of this great land. I am Australian. We are one, but we are many, and from all the lands on earth we come. We'll share a dream and sing with one voice. I am, you are, we are Australia. We are one, but we are many, and from all the lands on earth we come. We'll share a dream and sing with one voice. I am, you are, we are Australian. I am, you are, we are Australia. Give yourselves a big round of applause. It was beautiful. Righto, now we're coming to the official part of the evening and morning or whatever. And I'd like to welcome our special guest today, our ambassador, Mr. Brendan Bernier. Now, I haven't met Brendan until last night. We had a meal at the local pub, and a few of us, and had a little chat with him. I didn't have a chance to chat for a long time, but we had a short chat, and this young man's knowledge on 90% of things in the world is unbelievable. I'll give you the drum that when we have a trivia night out here, he will be invited and he will be on my team. His sporting knowledge is unbelievable. We chatted about a bit of cricket and a bit of tennis, and very, very good. So our guest speaker today is locally born Cambooya man. His family on both sides are long-term local families. He studied at USQ and holds a Bachelor of Arts majoring in Australian Studies along with a Diploma of Counselling majoring in Drug and Alcohol.
He was born blind, but that doesn't let him stand in his way of achieving many, many goals. He himself is an Australian Day Junior Award recipient in the year of 2000. His grandmother received an Australian Day Award in 2012 for community service, and his grandfather has also been a recipient of Australia Day Award for his sporting achievements. He's got a pretty fair pedigree, this young fellow. I would like to introduce Mr. Brendan Bernier. Select them,
There you go.
and your mic's up here.
You got it?
Yep, can you hear me? Good.
A little bit closer, Brendan. That's
Oops.
it.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. And happy Australia Day. Congratulations to all the award recipients today. And thank you to all of those who are here, present, and also watching at home. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about the challenges and the opportunities that result in life. I was born blind, and I grew up in Cambooya in this community. It's been a magnificent place to grow up, nice and quiet, and plenty of good people. And I've been very fortunate to have mum and dad as my parents and a great group of people around me. I went to Fairview Heights Primary School. I finished there. But when I was at Fairview, I got some amazing opportunities. I was able to go to Samoa and represent Australia in the Southern Cross Games. That was an amazing experience over there. The different culture, different people, and all the incredible experiences that I had over there, meeting people and experiencing all the amazing things I got to experience there. I also got to go to Melbourne and Sydney and New Zealand as well, so the Southern Cross Games. So I finished Fairview and I went to Harristown, and I went from there to grammar. I finished my schooling at grammar, and then after that, I went to university where I graduated. As I said, life presents some amazing challenges and experiences. When I was at school, I was debating. We were in a
In August 2021, Rebecca held her first major fundraiser in the pursuit of her goal of purchasing caravans for the kitchen. The Cocks and Roosters Community Cook-Up. Oh, so that's 6 times in a row. This event raised $15,000 and Beck and her family contributed additional funds to ensure that the first caravan of this project has been purchased and is already in use. Rebecca really is a wonderful community-minded person, and her contributions to our community deserve to be recognised. A hand for Rebecca. Our third nominee is Mr. Tony McDonald. Tony McDonald worked for Cambooya Shire Council as the manager of its engineering services over a span of 35 years. He worked incredibly hard for the Cambooya district and its residents to deliver critical public infrastructure services. For a time, his home phone number was the after-hours contact for Cambooya Shire Council. He would personally respond to midnight calls of overflowing pipes or cattle on the road. He would frequently attend traffic accidents or flooded roads. He planted flowers and trees at the Greenmount Park and built play equipment at the Cambooya Park. For many years, he helped organise Anzac Day service at Greenmount, closing roads and putting out chairs. He would often take councillors on bus tours of the region, explaining current works and future plans. He would often hold public forums, community consultations, ensuring all stakeholders were to be appraised of an important decisions. Just letting them know. Tony also coached junior soccer and cricket teams and also leading church youth groups. He served the distinction for many years as president of the PNC for both Rangeville and Centenary Heights. A round of applause, please, for Mr. Tony McDonald.
Can I say, Graham, that Tony's bus tours were a joy to behold. Sometimes we were a little bit worried.
Ah, the old story, what goes on in the bus, eh? Stays on.
Back areas of Hurstglen and up at West Eldon. Yeah.
We only left one councillor behind.
That's right, he did leave one councillor behind.
Yeah.
But it was all fixed up fairly quickly.
The fourth nominee for Citizen of the Year is Sarah Jane Howell. Sarah Jane is a passionate, community-minded leader who selflessly volunteers her time substantially in the Wairema and district community. Sarah Jane Howell has been a committee member of the Wairema Hall for the past 10 years and secretary for the past 6 years. Sarah started the Wairema Hall Trick and Treat event 8 years ago, and it has helped to grow to be a huge successful Wairema community event that the whole town gets involved in. Over the past 10 years, she has been organising a multitude of events through the Wairema Community Hall. To name a few, trivia nights, social nights, market days, movie nights, family fun days, Christmas and Easter events. She is extremely passionate about bringing the community together and raising money for those in need of the district. In 2021, she raised $1,000 for her and participated in the Sleep Out for Homeless event and raised huge awareness for the homelessness in Toowoomba. She's constantly volunteering at any event that needs support within the community. She also helps the Toowoomba Regional Council with many of the events of the district. For example, the Wairema Ops Park opening in 2021, Summer Tunes event 2021. She was also part of the Australia Day Committee for the Cambooya district. Sarah Jane has been a huge inspirational part of the Wairema community, motivating selflessness and helping others. Sarah has had the compassion, hard work, and it is dedicated to the community. Big round of applause, please, for Sarah. Now, before I call all the nominees forward and announce who the winner is, I will say that these, what I have read out here this morning, are condensed versions. They're extremely condensed. I don't know when some of these people have time to sleep, or I don't know whether they, who has to do the washing up or the wiping up in the kitchen, but I tell you, these people do a lot of work, and these are extremely condensed. A huge decision to go through them, and as I said before, when the nominees are in, we can only judge on what's on the paper. So if you're nominating somebody and they mow the lawn, put that in as well. You know what I mean? Every little thing. So I'd like to ask all the nominees to come forward, please. The forward, we got Sarah, Tony, Beck, and Carol and Shannon. Please come forward. Remembering...
I don't think Beck's here, is she? Yes. Oh, yes,
Okay, these are all the nominees for everybody. A big round of applause. And I'm proud to announce this year, we congratulate the Citizen of the Year is Mrs. Sarah Jane Howell. Big round of applause. Photo opportunities, please.
So I'll start with the phone. Congratulations on your nomination. And I know, as Graham said, what has been read out is condensed, and you're jewels in our community. Absolutely, absolute jewels. And hopefully, I know there's many people, I know it's not why people do things, not for recognition. You do it because you want to contribute and make where you live a better place. But having said that, you are our local heroes, and we need to continue to recognise our local heroes. It brings a sense of community to us, and it helps to inspire our community, and that's very special, very special. Rebecca, thank you so much for what you do, and I note that we have the base here today with the coffee, so that's all going towards that. Sarah Jane, I'll get to you in a minute. Carol and Shannon, congratulations. Thank you. Thank you so much for your thoughtfulness and caring and for starting that for it because often the aged, as we mentioned before, and particularly in COVID, can be left behind. So thank you very much. And Sarah Jane, congratulations to you, and thank you very much for what you contribute to our community. Thank you all for what you contribute to our community. Certainly makes it a much better place. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. You may proceed back to your chairs or whatever. Thank you. Hang on. More photos. Hold back.
Thank you.
For the people who can't be here, we need a record of it. So thank you very much.
And as usual, we can't let the winner get away without having a few words. I've just got to drop this microphone by 3 feet.
I'm short. Hold on. Hi guys, I won't say much because I'm not very good at public speaking, but I am extremely humbled and overwhelmed with receiving the Citizen of the Year award for Cambooya District for 2022. I love doing the volunteering work within the Warriema area to bring our wonderful Warriema community together. We are a small community, but we are mighty. I am extremely passionate about bringing everyone together and raising money for those in need in the district. Thanks must also be given to all those nominated for their outstanding contributions and commitments to our district. Every one of them are hardworking and very well deserving. Also, congratulations to the Community Hall winners in the other two categories. Words cannot express the gratitude within my heart for my husband Ben Howell and my two girls Tiana and Piper Howell for putting up with me, dragging them to every single event and supporting me through each one of them with the cleaning. A huge thank you to all the Warriema Community Hall committee members and the Warriema community and district for being such an amazing, great community to be involved in. I'm very honoured to be receiving this award today, and I look forward to what we can achieve together in the coming years. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. So that ends the official side of things. Don't forget there's still, I'm sure there's more tea, coffee over there and a piece of Lion's fruit cake. There's only whatever many people here, so there's time to have another coffee. With that, I'd like to ask Councillor Carol Taylor to come forward, say a few more words of thank you, and then I'll close the show.
Does cause a lot of extra work, doesn't it? Thank you, everyone. I'm not going to say too much. I think, it's the day of the nominees and the awardees, but I'd like to thank everyone for ensuring that our celebrations were uplifting and joyful, and for the people who are watching, thank you to all who made it possible. I actually want to mention here the families of the awardees and the nominees, because I think I know what my husband put up with, and as Sarah has just said, you can't do anything on your own. You absolutely can't, and you have to stand on someone's shoulders to be able to achieve anything. And I think that that's important to recognise the families and recognise their contributions as well. I'd like to thank Toowoomba Regional Council, who puts money towards these things to ensure that we continue to have our local days. I think it's most important, and I am very, very grateful and passionate about us being able to have an event here in person, and I think that that's very special for us. We've managed it, we've done it for 2 years, so we can do it. I'd like to thank the Australia Day Committee, the Chair, Sarah, and your members. Thank you very much. To Amy, who's supported them, as I said before, to Lions for their contributions, but also the cakes. Thank you to Base Services for their bringing the coffee van here today, and a special thanks to Brendan, who has given us amazing positivity, a message of positivity, perseverance and fun. And I think that's most important. And I think we can all sit there and say to ourselves that, you know, we can just be a little bit more pragmatic and probably just roll with the punches a little bit. I know I take things a little bit too seriously at times. But thank you all very much. It's most important we recognise our local heroes. They're what make us tick. Someone who does something in Melbourne or Brisbane or even in Toowoomba, not the same as being here in the midst of our community. So let's celebrate what makes us special. Enjoy the rest of your day. Happy Australia Day. Thank you. Oh, I'm terribly sorry, Graham. I did forget you. I think I did that last year. Thank you very much, Graham, and keeping us all rolling and keeping everything going. So thank you very much. There's always got to be a really MC with a bit of a sense of fun. So, and you've had that as you always do. So thank you very much. And Sarah will present you with the flowers. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Once again, thank you very much. I'd like to thank everybody again for coming. Hang on. Yes, don't worry, I'm on to them. Ronnie and Johnny are here again this year, and a lot of their music is their own compositions. I noticed this year they actually got a little CD thing that they're trying to flog off, and if we can promote local people as much as we can, oh, here it is here. Veronica and John Pike, they're Ronnie and Johnny, there it is. It's a beautiful little thing, just see the guys up if you want one. And I'd like to thank them for turning up today, and no doubt that we'll be speaking to them again in the future. All again, coffee and cup of cake. I'd like to thank you all for coming. I'd like to thank Councillor Carol Taylor. I'd like to thank Brendan. Don't you lose that humour, Brendan. You just hang on to it forever and a day, mate. And I'd like to thank everybody else that volunteered, the members of the committee which I was on, and thank you everybody. My name's Graham Lotz. Good afternoon. If the award winners would come forward, please. Photo opportunity, evidently, remembering your 1.5 metre, whatever, and good night.